Alrighty, what's up everybody? It is I, your travel god of extreme, Peter Joseph here for a getting close to late Sunday night video right here on the Peter Joseph YouTube wrestling channel. YouTube.com/Peter Joseph. Thank you all for watching. Make sure you like the video, hit that subscribe button down in my goddamn fucking pants. Otherwise known as the description box below. So, subscribe to this channel and my other channels. Show your love and support. Leave a comment on the video if you like, but don't leave stupid comments. You know where you're going. To the fiery pits of hell. Otherwise known as the Shadows Lair. And you will never be seen again because Ozzy and Satan will eat your goddamn rotting soul. So you want to do it, go on somebody else's channel and do that shit. Or go on your garbage channel and do that. Because you ain't going to do it on mine. If you don't like it, tough shit. Simple as that. Share the video all over the internet. Follow me on social media, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And don't forget to tap and slap that bell to turn on all notifications so you don't miss the next one. Because if you miss anything, you know what you are. SOL. And that's pretty much it. You know what that means by now. I don't think I need to tell you. And that's that. Alright, so like, share, subscribe, leave a comment, and all that other good shit. And for our newbies out there, if you're here for the first time, if you've never seen me before, well, hi, how you doing? I'm Peter Joseph. I am a content creator talking about the wonderful world of professional wrestling, sports, or anything else I feel like talking about. And if you like it, great. You don't, well, skedaddle, get your ass out off my channel and go fuck yourself. But for those real people that want to stay here and sub, and when you guys do, as we say in the business, thank you for watching. Welcome to the party, pal. We hope you enjoy the ride. Sit back, you relax, grab your nice, tasty cold one. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. If you like it, great. You don't, fuck you. And that's that. We move on. And we grab a nice, tasty cold one, and we have fun. And that's that. We drink Pepsi here. Straight Pepsi. Or juice. I got juice somewhere. Water, milk. We don't drink on my show. Once in a while we might, but not all the time. Maybe once in a blue moon, but I'm a social drinker. I only drink when I go out. So, you want to call me an alcoholic? Well, you're an alcoholic too, but that's proven. So that's that. But do your garbage AI videos. I care less. That's all you can do is AI. AI is the stupidest fucking shit ever. But hey, if it gets your views, I don't care. Because you're not original. But you have an obsession. That's why you do all that crap. But I digress on that. But I don't care, because I'm moving on. I'm doing better things than you are doing in your life. So, we move on with that. But, clip it anyway. I care less. Alright, ladies and gentlemen. Hope you had a great first unofficial weekend of 2026. Week 18, the final week of football, is done. We now have our teams for the playoffs, which start on Saturday afternoon. Got a couple games on Saturday. Big slate next Sunday. We got 3 games at 1 o'clock, 4:30, and the Sunday night football game. And we got a Monday night football game. That's going to be the Houston Texans taking on the AFC North champions. Sorry, Otaku, but it's the Steelers and Aaron Rodgers. And this discount double check put you guys in the dirt where you belong. And that's pretty much it. For my Niners, well, one of the teams we needed to lose lost today. That's the Bears. Bears got beat by the Lions with a game-winning field goal. So, but they stay at the number 2 seed, which sucks. The Eagles lost. Actually, 2 teams lost today, but no shift. But, so the Eagles lost to the Redskins. The Commanders, whatever you want to call them. The Bears lost to the Lions. But the fucking Rams, as I knew they were going to do, they beat Arizona. Even though it was close early, then the Rams pulled away in the fourth quarter. So the Rams get the number 5 seed. They would take on the NFC South champion Carolina Panthers. Even though they lost to Tampa, but Atlanta did Carolina a solid and beat the Saints barely. So, via head-to-head, Carolina had a better record, so Carolina wins the South, even though they have an 8-9 record. But they get the home game against the Rams, who beat, Carolina beat the Rams early in this, a couple weeks ago, actually. So, that's going to be a pretty interesting matchup on Saturday afternoon. So, hopefully Carolina kicks the Rams out again. But, we'll see what happens with that. But, like I said, for the Niners, they got the 6th seed, and they drew the NFC East champion, Philadelphia Eagles, in Philly this coming weekend. So, not going to be easy. I would be shocked if the Niners win that game. I'm pulling for them to win, but it's not going to be easy. Even if the offense is not that great for the Eagles, even though they still have, Mr. Saquon Barkley, they have a great rushing offense. Niners had no rushing defense, very no passing defense. But if the Niners can fire on all cylinders like they did in their 6-game winning streak, this game could be really, really, really close. And it's a rematch of the 2022 NFC title game where Brock got hurt with his elbow, and he was pretty much out for almost the rest of the year. But the rest of the playoffs, you know what I mean. We didn't see him until next season, which was an epic season altogether. Which the Niners got to the Super Bowl that year. But I digress on that. So it's going to be a great game this coming Sunday. Actually, well, next Sunday for you. People that are watching in the West Coast. Here in the East Coast is Sunday. But 4:30 on Fox. We got that. And the Sunday night game is the Patriots, the number 1 seed. Number 2 seed, excuse me. And they're going to be taking on the Chargers. The Broncos got the number 1 seed, and in the NFC, the Seahawks got the number 1 seed. So they got the bye week, and they face the lower seed in the second round, the divisional round, and we'll see what happens with that. So it's going to be a pretty good road to Super Bowl LX. That's 60 for you people at home. So hopefully the Niners can get there, but it's not going to be easy. I would love for the Rams to get kicked out. I'd love for the Eagles to get kicked out, and the Bears to get kicked out, because they play the Packers on, when did they play them? It's on Saturday. I think it is Saturday. So, if you're a Niner fan, you want to get those harder teams, like the Bears, like the Rams, kick them out quick. So, if they beat the Eagles, they pretty much have to get through Seattle, and maybe Carolina get to the promised land. But we'll see. With that depleted defense, it's not going to be easy. So, but I'm hoping. I'm hoping, praying, wishing, and hoping, and praying. Stuff like that. So we'll see what happens with that. Hopefully it's not a one and done for the Niners, but, who knew they were going to be 12-5? I had them actually at 12-5, so I had them to win the division, but, who knew with injuries to Bosa and Fred Warner, and even not having Kittle for a little bit, and Brock Purdy for a little bit, they beat 12-5 and going for the number 1 seed yesterday, on Saturday night. Who knew that was going to happen? Everything looked bleak. And then Mac and Cheese Jones just had a resurgent year. Whether he stays or goes next year, I don't know. We'll have to see what happens. But if I'm George, if I'm John Lynch and I'm Jed York and company, I'm drafting a lot of defensive guys. I know I hate saying that because we need offensive linemen. But we need somebody to back up Fred and back up Bosa. We need more secondary help. Then maybe, like I say, maybe the 3rd, 4th, 5th round, we get some, like, not so great offensive linemen, but at least somebody that we can fill in here and there. Just put the pieces in and maybe get some free agents later on, too. But we'll talk about that in April. We're like 3 months away from the draft, so we're not talking about it yet. Let's worry about Philadelphia on Sunday, and hopefully we have an early Thanksgiving. Cook them birds. Stuff like that. Alright, enough about that. Boo, funky. Let's talk about another good sport, and that's the sport of professional wrestling. And it is time on your late Sunday night right here on the Peter Joseph channel. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe. So, on your late Sunday night, January the 4th, 2026, or if you're watching on the replay, January the 5th, 2026, as we start the first official week of 2026. Back to school for some of you, back to work for others. And that's that. Alright, it is time for your Wrestle Kingdom 20 review. Alright, from later, like a day or two ago. Not really, but anyway, from yesterday, or really earlier this morning on January 4th, we watched this great pay-per-view. First pay-per-view of the year, knocked it out of the park. We had New Year's Dash, which is pretty much on now. I'm not watching it. I'm going to watch the replay tomorrow. I'm not doing a review, but got some good stuff. But this pay-per-view last night, I thought it was another banger. As always, New Japan comes out, first pay-per-view of the year, and they smack it right out of the park. Wasn't like others, but pretty damn decent, pretty damn good. Alright, so we are emanating from the legendary Tokyo Dome in Tokyo, Japan. Japan, #1, forever! Okay, Terry, it's late. Go to bed. Don't tell me to go to bed. Go to bed. Okay. Sometimes he's gonna put the foot down for the old man up there. Jerry, go to bed. Shut up, Cactus. Mick, shut the fuck up. You go to sleep too, you old fart. Would you like to? No, I don't want to do either. Shut up. Satire. You gotta love it. Alright, so we're from Tokyo, Japan, the legendary Tokyo Dome. Hiroshi Tanahashi's final match. You knew it was going to be very emotional, and I'll get to that match in a little bit. Now, we had 2 pre-show matches. I did not watch those, because I really didn't care. But I really watched it for the main show. Alright, so we started off the show, which we had 7 matches, I believe. So let's get to it. Alright, so we started with the traditional New Japan Rambo, not Rambo like John Rambo. I'm your worst nightmare. No, not that guy. Basically, I thought it was an over-the-top battle royal, but this was like crazy. They had like 10 teams going for the, 10 trios teams actually, going for the never openweight 6-man tag team titles. Crazy match. I can't go through everybody in the match. We had TMDK, Zack Sabre Jr. Was on, I forgot who was with. We had Clark Connors, that's Decla's boyfriend, by the way. We had Ishii and Oleg. Not Ishii and Oleg, but Ishii was in it. Sanada, Ren Narita, Kaizei Takechi, a pop star who worked in DDT. He did his own theme song. That was weird. I was like, wait a minute, this ain't K-pop Demon Hunter. Huh? What is this? It's a good song, but Anyway. We had the Knockout Brothers with Clark Connors. That's an interesting trio. Decla came out with him. So, Decla came back to New Japan. Well, not came back to New Japan per se, but came back to Japan. Of course, they're doing the Stardom weekend as well. with Marigold and all that other stuff. Ryohei Oiwa and Hartley Jackson. So, a lot of trios teams. It was crazy. The format was just weird and odd. Then in past years, where it was pretty much like not a Royal Rumble per se, but a Battle Royal. But this time, pinfall submission gets, I think it was an elimination match too, so I think the last two were going for the title. But it ended up with the champs, Toru Yano Masawato and Yo. They came out last. Yo dressed up as Yano. That's weird. Anyway, they got eliminated, so we're gonna get new trios champions. So it came down to Oleg and Bishiman, which is Hiroki Goto's team, versus TMDK, Zack Sabre Jr. Got the win with the European clutch on Oleg. And under 21 minutes, we have new Never Openweight 6-man tag team champions in TMDK. Not the first time they've been champs, and probably not the last, but Zack Sabre Jr. adds another title to his Japan resume. He was New Japan champion, IWGP heavyweight champion, not once but twice. TV champion, I think once or twice. He won the Super... What did he win? The Super J League? Yeah, I think it was the Super... I forgot which one was. The one where you can cash in that to get a title shot if you're choosing. I think it was the Super... not the Super Juniors, but... I forgot what it's called. I think it was the Super J Cup. Whatever it was called. But anyway, he gets another title, adding the Never Openweight 6-man tag team titles, which basically trio styles of Never Openweight, whatever. The Never brand. So, he gets the win for TMDK. Match was So, I gave it 2.5 out of 5 stars, and that's pretty much it. And we're off and running on Wrestle Kingdom. Alright, I watched it in English. I did not watch it in Japanese. Even though I understood some of it, but whatever. Alright, match number 2, title for the ladies. The lovely ladies. We got the IWGP Women's and New Japan Strong Women's Championship. We had the lovely Saya Kawatani, who I believe was the New Japan Strong Women's Champion. And these two haven't met one-on-one since 2021. That's 5 years, damn. And Saya is way different now. She's a part of the Hate Group. Go figure that one out. She's fresh off winning the Tokyo Sports MVP, first woman to do that. Commentary actually admitted that Stardom outdrew New Japan at Sumo Hall the other day. That's rare. Very rare. So anyway, Saya takes on the beautiful Sayuri. I believe, I think Saya was the IWGP, one of them, whatever. We move on. So anyway, back and forth they went. They traded some early moves early on, showing they're pretty evenly matched in a different style. Saya was the heel. She was very flashy, hit a bunch of big spots. Sayuri's a big-time striker. I mean, her and Asuka could go at it, and they would beat the fuck out of each other. But she had to rethink her strategy a few times with some stiff kicks and some submissions. Saya was panicking with some, submissions hold that were put on her. Looked like she was in trouble when Sayuri caught her, and then hit the Star Crusher, and somehow Sayuri got out of that. Actually, Saya hit the Star Crusher. Sayuri kicked out. I was like, what? And then Sayuri hit Sayuri World, which is a modified DDT. 1, 2, 3 to win. To win the title. And then we got that. 12-minute match. Match was great. 3.5 out of 5 stars. Saya wins the New Japan Strong Women's title. Not Saya, sorry. Sayuri wins the IWGP Women's title. Reverse that. So we got that. But great match for two people that I really didn't know too much about. Because like I said, I did take some time off from watching New Japan, but I did come back to it during the World Tag League, and I watched a little bit of Marigold here and there, and some of the Stardom stuff. So I had to catch up. So we got that. All right, so that's match number 2. Congrats to Sayuri. We'll see what happens from there, with the Marigold stuff coming up. All right. After that, match number 3. We had a 10-man tag team match. We had the New Japan debut of Andrade and Idolo. Tranquilo! Why are you so crazy? Take it easy! Take it easy! Pretty much. So he teams up with Callum Newman, the Great Okan, Hanane, and Jake Lee. No, not Jake E. Lee. That's somebody different. Of United Empire. And they take on, the unaffiliated and members of the Bullet Club War Dogs, I believe. David Finlay, Drill Up Maloney, Gabe Kidd. We saw him at World's End, getting his ass handed to him by Darby. Hi, guys. Hiro Takahashi, we all know him, and Shingo Takagi from, former members of Los Ingobernables. Hey, Pawn! Okay, we got that. Alright, very interesting match. Andrade returning to New Japan. Surprisingly, he was in United Empire. La Sambla, like that. And then the other members of Bullet Club and LIJ, kind of like forming a little bit of a union, which kind of was like, what? It's like something you don't see every day. So, it was kind of weird to have Takahashi and Shingo team up with basically David Finlay, who's going to be kicked out of the Bullet Club War Dogs pretty soon, and maybe going to AEW. With Joe Maloney and Gabe Kidd, who's in the, who was half in the original Bullet Club, now in the Bullet Club War Dogs. Kind of weird to see those two factions team up. But anyway. So, Hanari's back. Because we missed him. He gained some momentum before he had a big-time injury, I think to his arm or his leg. I forget what it was. But anyway, did a pretty good performance. Jake Lee, surprise member of United Empire. Though he came out and got no reaction. Like, who's this guy? Who the fuck is this guy? Really, who the fuck is this guy? I was thinking Jake E. Lee, the guitar player from Red Dragon Cartel and Ozzy. That's what I thought it was. But it's not him, obviously, but... Oh, and he did play on a song like In This Moment. Go to my page, you know what it is. This page, actually. I think it was this page. You're gonna listen, fuckers. But I digress. So, it was kind of a big old brawl. Some of the exchanges were pretty good, like Shingo and Hanari beating the fuck out of each other. Woo! Andrade against Gabe Kidd. That might be a telling story going forward. And Andrade might be going back to AEW from what I read earlier tonight. Now, does he go back to the Don Callis family, or does he go solo? I don't know. So we'll see. We'll see what happens on Dynamite coming up this month. Hanari's hair is just weird. It was just like, he thinks he had a mullet. Not as great as Eddie Guerrero's mullet, but, I have a great mullet, they say. Look at my hair, man. It is great. Yeah, circa 1997. Oh, you remember those days, don't you? Eddie, I'm 49 years old. I remember almost everything. I didn't know you were 49. I always thought you looked like 25. Eddie, come on, man. I might look 25, but I feel 49, My bones are breaking, down. I'm breaking down, Eddie. But you still look good, I say. You get all those mamacitas, and, you got your mamacita, I know. she wasn't feeling well today, I mean, I wasn't feeling good today either, so I pretty much stayed home. I had plans, but I stayed home today. Got a little bitty head cold. Mrs. still got a little. We both got a cold. Well, she has a virus, and I got a cold. I mean, we got our shots and everything. We're still getting sick. And I gotta get another shingle shot by the sometime in February. By the end of February, I have to get another shot, and I have to go to the doctor soon. I was supposed to go Friday, and somehow they were closed. Maybe they're coming off their New Year's vacation. I don't know, so I have to make another appointment tomorrow. Not go tomorrow, but I have to make an appointment for probably next week. I'm busy this week, because I got a lot of appointments. And I got a concert on Saturday, which I'm not filming. I'm not filming that one. That's the only one of the rare concerts I'm not filming it. So I'm just going. That's it. I'm not working or anything. I'm just going. Just to have fun with some friends and some cool bands. Yeah. But I got some coming up in probably the late spring, maybe the summertime. That's the ones I'm going to be actually taping and everything. I don't know what dates yet. I haven't got the itinerary yet, so I would say probably been May, probably around May or June. Get some new stuff on the Metal Guy channel, so check that out. But maybe before then we get some stuff. But concert footage wise, that's coming in May, or maybe earlier. We'll see what happens with that, because I gotta see. Anyway, where was I? So Shingo and Hanari beat the fuck out of each other. And then Andrade and Gabe went at it. Hanari's hair just wild. Drilla Maloney hit the Drilla Killer. Could have ended the match, but Drilla got cut off before he could even make a cover. And then from there, we got a whole bunch of signature spots galore. It was wild and crazy. And so Jake Lee beat Hiromu with the face break shot, whatever that is, and Hiromu took the pin. So yeah, United Empire get the win in a little over 13 minutes, which Andrade got the pin, not Jake Lee, but whatever. Andrade could have a good run in New Japan. I mean, they kind of, sort of still have a kind of, sort of deal with AEW right now. I don't know how Mr. Tanahashi-san, the president now of New Japan, and, Tony Khan, I don't know if their relationship is still good, or it's kind of on thin ice, I don't know. I still don't understand how we're doing Forbidden Door 5 or 4, whatever number it's up to this year. And there's not that many big stars there. I mean, you still got Tsuji, you got Aaron Wolf now. You can put Andrade on the card. Takahashi. Can't put Tanahashi there. Ishii. Or, as always, can do something with him. With the conglomeration. But, maybe you can put Okada against somebody. I don't know. I'd rather not, but. You can put Moxley against somebody. Do a lot of things, But, some of those dream matches that you would love to see probably may not even happen anymore. And a couple of guys came back to New Japan. One of them being Jay White, the Switchblade. Wait, what's Switchblade? He got banned from New Japan for some odd reason, and then he's back now. I guess because of Tanahashi's retirement. So he was back. Ibushi was back in the ring. Naito was even there. Naito's now in Pro Wrestling Noah, but he actually told Naito that the door is still open for him coming back to New Japan. So, we have that. Anyway, so yeah, New Japan is looking for star power, and they're gonna have to get some of the young lions, if you will, to kind of step up. But I still think, regardless, New Japan is gonna have another great year, like they did earlier this year, last year. All right, so we got that. We move on. Great match though, 3.25 out of 5 stars. Let me move on. That's match number 3. Match number 4 for the number 1 contendership to Doki's junior heavyweight title. This was under Dookie rules because he didn't want to fight on the card. So I think he's fighting tonight on New Year's Dash, or maybe on the road to Dominion, which is way later. But anyway, we had El Desperado ese, Kosei Fujita. No, that's not a fusion between Vegeta and Fu. It's Fujita. Sho of Sho and Yo, and Taiji Ishimori, part of the Bullet Club. The Bone Collector. I don't understand why the junior heavyweight title was not on the line, but it's Dookie rules, so... Even though he came out with a long as fuck entrance, long as fuck intro... What are you gonna do? It felt like The Undertaker coming out with his fucking entrance, like, get to the ring already! Anyway. He came out with Gato and Jado. Great tag team back in the day. And Gato is booking some of these matches, so not the greatest booker in the world, but, I wish there was somebody... some other guy did booking for New Japan, not Gato, that old fart Gato. Maybe Jado, or, somebody else, like Tanahashi maybe, but Gato, ugh. But, yeah, this match wasn't great, per se, but, yeah, kind of a weird finish. No, it was just bad. And because the House of Torture come out, like Evil's group, they all come out, did a whole bunch of bullshit. And I'm like, come on. I was like, I can't watch this match anymore. But in the end, El Desperado overcame all that clusterfuckery. He wins with Pinche Loco. Which means crazy pink, I think. I don't know what it means. Wins in 7.5 minutes to get the title shot. And just the junior heavyweight division is just bad right now. It's just, eh. And having Doki, have the belt, and them just playing politics with the belt, it just devalues the belt. From guys who had the belt like Takahashi, like Finn Balor, Kenny. So many great people have held that belt, and now it's Doki, Shaboki. Karaoke, I don't know, well, Match was garbage. I did not like this match at all. I gave it 2 out of 5 stars. That's sad for a junior heavyweight title match. I mean, if it was a title match, this would have stunk. It was for the number 1 contendership. That really that was the low point of the show, really, I think. But we move on with that. Alright, let's get back to something actually better, which was the never openweight title. So we had Evil of the House of Torture defending against in his New Japan debut from the Young Lions, Aaron Wolf. Not Warner Wolf, but Aaron Wolf. His first match, he was in DDT, did a lot of other things here and there. But crowd loved the guy. He's like a Kurt Angle-ish. Put it that way. And yeah. He was in the Young Lions, in the dojo, stuff like that. And you would rarely see the Young Lions get this high up the card. It was like match number 5, I believe. 4 or 5. rare you get these guys here. But I guess Evil saw something in Aaron Wolf. I don't know. But Aaron Wolf really took Evil to school. And, crowd loved him. Anytime he busted out a basic move, like a head scissors or a headlock takeover or a hip toss, yay! Oh, he's good, very good. You know, but the real highlight for him, he basically used his judo stuff, which was incredible, and made him look like a badass. You know, Evil did his stuff, as usual. The House of Torture once again get involved later on. But it wasn't like the last match where it just became like, oh, God, this is too much here. So not egregiously, you know, it wasn't like clusterfuckery, but they got involved. Wolf took them all out with a whole bunch of judo throws. Hit a power slam, then an angle or Olympic slam. That was great. Goes for Eddie Guerrero frog splash, and well, no water in the pool for you, sir. Sorry, only Eddie can do that. Easy slide. That's true. House of Torture getting involved even more. Wolf survived all that, and it pretty much choked out Evil with a very looking, like, I think I choked him out, like, almost like mother's milk, almost, and Evil just pretty much passed out. So, Aaron Wolf is the new never openweight champion in his first fucking match. Insane. And Evil, well, you should have kept the House of Torture in the back. I think he could have won this match in his sleep, but match was under 13 minutes. Great match, 3.25 out of 5 stars. So congrats to you, sir, Aaron Wolf. And I hope you have a nice long reign with it. But, you know, now you got Evil and the House of Torture really pissed. So we'll see what happens with that. Alright, let's see how many matches we have left here. I think we got 2 more. Yeah, 2 more. So that was match number 5. So we got that. We move on. Alright, match number 6, title for the men. The IWGP World Heavyweight title and the Global title, not unified, but we get that in the double main event. So we had the IWGP World Heavyweight Champion Kensuke Takeshita taking on the Global Champion Yota Tsuji. So whoever wins this comes out with 2 belts. And for Takeshita's case, he could have had 5 belts if he beat Okada in the Continental Classic, but we did not. And Okada could have came into Wrestle Kingdom with, you know, the same amount of belts he had. 3 belts. But we got that, so that did not happen. These guys have met twice in the G1 2 years ago. Both bangers. Bangers last 2 years. Oh, they met twice in the G1. That was 2 years ago. That was in 23-24, I believe. Great matches. Both of them were great. And Takeshita's not even committed to New Japan. I assume he's going to be, but we'll see. So we'll see if Tsuji can win the title back home, because he was IWGP champ at one point. So he started off, you know, pretty subdued. You know, nothing fancy. You know. So it started pretty slow, and then it started progressively getting better and better and better and better. And this match went almost 29 and a half minutes. It was epic, like their last couple matches they've had. Takeshita was working on Tsuji's neck, which has been a problem from him the last few months. Takeshita with big moves like a DDT on the apron. Ow! And then smaller things like a neck crank circa 1934. Very well done. And Takeshi's just so good. That's why I believe he was, the breakout star last year. He won the G1, beat Zack Sabre Jr. to win the IWGP Heavyweight title. Then he had that great match with Okada, even though stupid ending. It's just some good matches in AEW. And I think he's going to have that one-on-one rematch with Okada probably down the line. Because I think Okada cheated. Well, he pretty much did cheat with a screwdriver. I think Takeshi's going to get his revenge down the line. We'll see what happens with that. Because, from what I heard, that Okada is still the international champion, or as we call it, the Intercontinental champion. Because he gave up the unified title, and he lost the Continental title to Moxley. So no more unified belt. Thank the Lord for that. That was a waste of time belt. That was like a 6 months we had that stupid belt. And now we're back to the Intercontinental belt and the Continental Breakfast of Champions belt. And now that Moxley has had it, he's going to take on Shelton Benjamin on Dynamite this Wednesday in an Eliminator match. Should be good. Should be pretty damn good. Who do you face? He faced I think Josh Alexander on Dynamite last week. Beat him. Wasn't easy for him, but he won. So we'll see what happens with him and Shelton Benjamin. And we had that. But we'll talk about Collision probably sometime tomorrow. Probably tomorrow afternoon. Then we'll get ready for Raw. Alright, anyway. Takeshi snapped off a Hurricane Rana pretty damn easily. Hit a Tope con Hilo. Very impressive. We got that. Little curb stomp combo. From Tsuji. That was nice. That was cool. That opened the door for him to finally hit the Fosbury flop. After trying to go for it a couple of times, finally got on the third try. Why not? Then from there, we get the last few minutes of the match were just like fast and furious, back and forth. The crowd was going completely berserk. Which all New Japan matches are. Start off slow and start building up to a climactic finish. Kind of like when you have sex. But I digress. Hit a bunch of big moves. Takeshi nailed his own Gene Blaster, which I think Tsuji hits. Yeah, it's Tsuji's finisher, so he hit it on Tsuji. I thought that was it. Obviously not. And then, cool little spot where Tsuji started rolling, but his neck, caused him to stop. Because like, my fat my neck. And that opened the door for Takeshi to kind of get going. And then, Tsuji hits a Canadian Destroyer. Ow. And then he hits the Gene Blaster from behind. And then he gets all fired up. He took a German suplex from Takeshi and pretty much no-sold it. He's like, ah! So fired up. And then Takeshi was like, alright, now I'm going to whip your ass. I'm going to beat you now. His Raging Fire, and Tsuji kicked out of that. It was like, what? Actually, he didn't kick out. He got his foot on the bottom rope. Would have been nice if he kicked out of that, though. But still. We got an Avalanche Blue Thunder Bomb. That was nice. That was nice. That should have won the match, but as always, there kicks on the toe. Then Tsuji cut off a knee with a big, huge Gene Blaster. Then applied the Young Lion Boston Crab. And rarely you see this, Takeshi tapped out in under 29.5 minutes. So, Yota Tsuji, once again, is the new IWGP World Heavyweight Champion of the world. I believe this is his second or third reign with a belt. And I think Tsuji is going to take New Japan into 2026. I think he's going to be a great champion. Hopefully he holds it for a long time. We'll see what happens with that. But match of the night, 4.5 out of 5 stars. Loved it. And Takeshita puts on bangers. I don't think we ever seen a really bad match from Takeshita. But we got that. Where are we here? Alright, after that, Gato does what he does Gato things. So Tsuji's celebration was interrupted by an attack by Jake Lee, who we saw earlier in the evening. And he did the same thing to Naito when he won the IWGP belt, which was like 2 years ago. When he beat, I think he beat Okada for the belt. For the belts. With Kenner attacking him, which was stupid. So Jake Lee attacks Tsuji. Crowd had no reaction to it. I don't blame him. Because nobody really cares about the guy. And I think the program they're going to have is just going to suck ass. And really, you should have saved that for New Year's Dash. Like, do it, have the match, tonight, basically. Or where it's happening now. But that's just bad booking. I mean, are you taking after Tony Khan there, Gato? He's just bad. A bad booker. That's why New Japan didn't have a great year. They could have had an amazing year, but it wasn't really great. Kind of a little step down. So I think Gato needs to get out of there. Stop booking like he's Vince McMahon or something like that. Or the early days of Delirious in Ring of Honor. You think about that. Blah, 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 pieces of each. Yeah, you got a nice looking bitch yourself there, Delirious, Mandy Leon. Ho. Brooklyn's own Mandy Leon, I might add. I know where she's from, too. She lives a hop, skip, and jump away from me. Not now. I don't think they live in New York. I don't even know where they live now. Ever get a chance to maybe hit her up on no, I was going to say MySpace. Jesus Christ. MySpace, Kenny! MySpace! Are you kidding me? I meant hit her up on X. Maybe I slide into her DMs like, hey, you still live in Brooklyn? She was born in Brooklyn, and like I said, a hop, skip, and jump away from where I used to live. Not that I ever saw her. I met her a couple of times at Field of Honor and a couple of Ring of Honor shows here and there. I would scream out, Brooklyn! She goes, Brooklyn! I have a picture with her. She's, scrumptious. But damn you, Delirious, that should have been mine. Fuck. Alright, moving on. Alright, so yeah. So Tsuji gets the win, he celebrates, and then Jake Lee beats him up. And, like I said, that attack could have been... They could have done something at New Year's Dash tonight where Jake Lee beats up Tsuji after, I think he has a tag team match or something. They're going to held that off until either later this month or, on the road to Dominion, or maybe at Dominion, which is in April, I think. We got a long way to go before we get that. Alright, then we get to your main event of Wrestle Kingdom, the big one. The final match in their long, illustrious, historic rivalry. Hiroshi Tanahashi and Okada. This is their 15th match. And I believe Okada was coming in 8-5-1. Something like that. 8-5-1 or 9-5-1. But they've had great matches. King of Pro Wrestling 2013. Epic. Invasion Attack the same year. Epic. Wrestle Kingdom 9. Oh. Beautiful. G1 Climax 23. I think that was the finals, I think. I don't know if that was the finals or was in the tournament, or whatever. It was epic. Wrestling Dontaku 2018. Great. and most of them Okada won. I think Wrestle Kingdom 9 was where Tanahashi won the belt. So, that was epic. Great entrances, too, by the way. So, basically, Okada says, oh, you're going to get the New Japan version of Okada. This was supposed to be getting. So, early on, they do their old school stuff. And he got booed out the building, of course. Tanahashi playing the hero. And, Okada, his 3 singles losses of 2025 happened in the past 6 weeks. So he lost to Moxley. I think he lost to Kevin Knight in the tournament. I think he lost to Speedball, Mike Bailey. I forget that one. But, so, kind of gave Tanahashi a chance to, to win that, pick up on that. It's like, hey, you lost 3 matches in this past 6 weeks, I'm going to beat you again. So Tanahashi started with Dragon Screw leg whips, targeting the leg of Okada. Okada cuts him off with a cheap rake of the eyes. And then they hit a whole bunch of spots like we all know and love. The Tombstone Pile Driver. High Fly Floor to the outside. And then Okada hits the Rainmaker, and he does this instead of the pullback, because you got to give the people what they want. So anyway, Okada hit a Tombstone on the aisleway. Ow! On the ramp aisle, whatever you want to call it. Trying to get a count-out victory, or to actually injure Tanahashi. That didn't work. And then Tanahashi comes back, hits his own version of the Rainmaker. And then Okada came back, hit his version, and Tanahashi kicked out at 1. That's something rare. And then they did a whole bunch of tributes. Tanahashi hit a penalty kick a la Shibata. He had the armband of Shinsuke Nakamura. And then he even did the Yo! Hit the Boomaye. That was epic. I wish Nakamura was there, but he got blocked by fucking Hunter. Fuck you, Hunter. And fuck WWE for that shit. That was stupid. And even Io, Kairi, and Asuka couldn't even go there. Because they had a fucking house show the same fucking day. Stupid. So that was nice. Okada did a Destino. What? Somebody call Naito. Anyway, that was epic. Those tributes were amazing. And then Okada hits another Rainmaker. I thought that was it. Tanahashi survived that. And then Okada's like, alright, we're going to change it up a little bit. And then he waited for Tanahashi to get to his feet. And then hits another Rainmaker. Then he did the pose rather than the middle finger. They pulled back. That was nice. Then he hits another. He hit like 5 of them during the match. He hits the Rainmaker, poses, then does it again, and he gets the win in 33 amazing minutes. Now I said that the Tsuji Takeshita match was match of the night, and I gave it 4.25 out of 5 stars. I take that back. This match was match of the night. So, great retirement match. Way better than, Cena's final match. Even way better than Sting's final match on Mania 26. That was horrible. Even with the NWO and DX fighting it out. And then freaking Hunter has to go over, which pissed me off. But you get that. But great tributes to Shibata, to Naito, even to Shinsuke Nakamura. At least Okada for one night only went back to his, heel self and everything. But made the match special. Sucks that Tanahashi had to go out on the losing end of the stick. But a great 26-year career. Started off in 1999. We saw him in TNA for a little bit. Early TNA. forgot what year, but I think it was like 2007 or 8. No, probably around 8 or 9, I think it was. I don't even remember, but we saw him in TNA. Mike TNA's going crazy. Oh, dude, Japan! You know? Because he's a professor. He knows everything about Japan and Lucha Libre and all this shit. Blah, 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 blah. But this match was great. 4.5 out of 5 stars. Tanahashi is done with in-ring competition. He retires. We're still going to be New Japan president, I believe. That's that. And then after the end of the show, we see Shibata, give him flowers, give him a hug. And you see Naito. Jay White comes back. Kenny's there. I mean, a lot of people there. I'm going to get to that. Sorry about that. So then it was time for the send-off for Tanahashi. Okada gets on the mic and just says, "Thank you." And then he left. With a hug, too. And then Tanahashi gets his flowers. Jay White comes out. Gives Tanahashi flowers. Bows to him. Bow to me, faithfully. No, not that. Will Ocean Spray came out. Because Alex Windsor is doing the Stardom weekend. Windsor! You know, his hot wife. And their kid are there. So Ocean Spray comes out next, gives him his flowers. Kenny, by God, Omega came out, the Devil's Sky. Oh! I missed that theme. I missed that. He should come out to that all the time. So, and Ibushi, when he came out, then Shibata's theme hit, and Tanahashi just broke down because, you know, what happened to Shibata with his, you know, his brain injury and, you know, all this shit that's going on with him. So he comes out with his Ops shirt on, then he took it off once he hit the ring. And then he had a chop battle with Tanahashi, which was great. That was funny. And then Kaiji Muto, we all know him as the great Muta. He came out. Tatsumi Fujinami, oh! They came out, they posed together with Tanahashi. That was great. And then they left, and then we get Naito! Naito comes out, I don't know, without the mask. He came out by himself in his, you know, his traditional little suit gear and everything. That was a surprise. You know, he left on really kind of odd terms with New Japan and Tanahashi. And now, like I said, he came back in Pro Wrestling Noah as the, you know, the mystery XXXX guy. Beat the fuck out of whoever he was facing. Because it was like a tag team or trios match or something like that. It was just amazing to see him in a new mask. That was funny. So, he gets to the ring. Tanahashi had fun. You know, because Naito takes forever to come out. He's like Undertaker. He's like, get to the ring! Let's go, Naito. Come on. You know, we got 50 minutes to go. Come on. Takes him 35 minutes to just get to the ring and take off his clothes. He's still a great guy. So he finally gets to the ring, and then him and Naito share a fist bump, and that pretty much ends. Well, it doesn't end there. They share a fist bump, and then Tanahashi cuts a promo, thanking the fans, thanking New Japan, thanking the people in the ring, thanking AEW, stuff like that. Then he does some, you know, the air guitar. I wish Marty Freeman was there too, but to, you know, play him out like he did at, I forgot what Wrestle Kingdom that was. I think it was 15 or 16, I forget which one, but that was nice. So he does some air guitar, and then he actually says goodbye, and he bows. He does his, you know, the traditional bow in the corners and everything. Not the corners, I say, you know. Bow here, bow here, bow here, bow there, you know. Traditional Japanese, when somebody's leaving Japan and stuff like that. So that was nice to end Wrestle Kingdom. Tears coming down our faces. I didn't cry that much. I mean, I didn't really cry for the match, but, you know, just sad to see Tanahashi go. But 26-year career, I think it was time to put hang it up. And he's almost like in his 50s anyway, so. So, we had that. I know he'll probably be around. We might see him on a random episode of AEW. You might see him at Forbidden Door. I don't know. I mean, we'll see. We'll see what happens with him as we move on in time and everything like that. But great main event with Okada. Like I said, 4.5 out of 5 stars. And now New Japan goes to New Year's Dash. And that's pretty much it for that. I know it was a good card tonight for New Year's Dash. I'm not gonna... I want to try to maybe get into what's happening now. I'm not gonna get through all of it, like I said. I'm just gonna go through the matches, and then after tonight, we're pretty much, for New Japan, we're on the road to Dominion, I think. So, but we have that. I am actually going to review Dominion when it comes around in, I think, April. But we got Sakura Genesis coming up. I might review that. I'm going to do a little bit more New Japan Pro Wrestling pay-per-view reviews for the big ones, like Sakura Genesis, Dominion, Power Struggle, maybe the Super J Cup, G1. Well, not the entire G1. I would do the semifinals and the finals of the G1, but that's going to be in August. And who knows if I'll be around in August, but that's like 8 months, pretty much 7.5 months away, so we'll see what happens when we get to the summertime and maybe my vacation by the time the G1's over. I don't know yet, but we got time. But more New Japan Pro Wrestling coming your way on this very channel. And I'm gonna do more pay-per-view reviews. We got I'm sorry, I had a brain fart. We have Genesis coming up in 12 days, so it's coming up next Saturday, excuse me. Saturday's main event coming up the week after that, the Royal Rumble, week after that, Vengeance Day. And I think we have another Saturday's main event in February, I believe. Right before I think it's the week before the Elimination Chamber, so that's the 21st, I believe, of February. So we got a lot of stuff to get through. We got the VPN era starting this week on Friday with SmackDown in Berlin for Bash in Berlin. Tomorrow's the final actual American, well, the last show in the States until they come back to Montreal before Sunday's main event. So tomorrow a full, probably tomorrow night, late tomorrow night, we got a late Raw review. And then there will be spoilers up, not on my channel, but there will be spoilers up for Raw and SmackDown as for the overseas shows up until we get to Montreal. I think the 17th, the Martin Luther King Day show, I think is overseas. So that'll be taped. And then they're coming back. I think they'll be in England, so they're going to come back to the States to do SmackDown from Montreal, then Sunday's main event from Montreal, and then I think the Raw before the Royal Rumble is overseas. I can actually look that up. Let me see. 129-26 Raw location. I think it's overseas. Let's see here. Well, actually, that's gonna be in... No, I can't be in Brooklyn. Why would that... That makes no sense. No, January 5th is in Brooklyn. I don't know why that came up. Well, they have an NXT live event on the 29th at the Knoxville Civic Coliseum in Knoxville, Tennessee. MLW has Battle Riot 8 in Kissimmee, Florida. I don't know why that said the 29th. I don't know where it is. I know the 5th is in Brooklyn. We got that tomorrow night. Know why? Let's see here. Maybe I missed that. I know I'm going a little bit over. Okay, here we go. January 26th. Oh, it's going to be in Toronto. Alright, so they're going to be in Canada. So that's going to be actually live. We get to see it live on Netflix. But then after that, SmackDown will be taped in Saudi Arabia. And then Royal Rumble in Saudi Arabia. February 1st, Raw in Saudi Arabia. No. Take that back. I thought that was going to be Raw on February 1st. Okay. Okay, let me move on. Alright, so February 2nd, at the Monday, the Raw after Royal Rumble will be at the Xfinity Mobile Arena in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. So that will be the first Raw back on Netflix. So we're going to have some VPNs we have to get through, which is basically this Friday, next week, all next week, for Raw and SmackDown, because I think they're going to be in, Germany. Let me see. Okay, I can do that. SmackDown. Okay, oops. Okay, well, look that up right now, and, Alright, so January 5th, they're at the Barclays Center tomorrow. Alright, next week, they're going to be in Dusseldorf, Germany, at the PSD Bank Dome. That's going to be nice. And then the 19th, which is the Martin Luther King Day show, they're going to be in Northern Ireland. So that's going to be taped. So 3 taped Raws after tomorrow. Going to be 3 weeks of taped Raw. And then back to live action on Netflix on January 26th. Now, SmackDown, already had SmackDown from Buffalo, New York. We already got done with that. This Friday, Bash in Berlin at the Uber Arena in Berlin, Germany. Week after that, they're going to be in jolly old London, England at the Oval Arena in Wembley. That's going to be nice. The 23rd, we're going to have we're back live on USA Network. So no VPN then. So 2 weeks of VPNs for, actually, 3 out of the next 4 weeks, we got VPN for SmackDown. The only time I'm going to be live on USA Network without a VPN is January 23rd at the Bell Center. That's the SmackDown Before Saturday Night's Main Event. And that's it. January 30th at the Kingdom Arena in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. That's Royal Rumble weekend. And then after that, we don't, probably February February the 6th, we're back on, I think on the East Coast. Because they're in Philly, I assume they're going to be somewhere in the Pennsylvania area. Or maybe in Washington, D.C. area on February the 6th. Which is the day before Vengeance Day, I believe. I think Vengeance Day is the 7th. Let's see here. Where is it? Right, New Year's Eve, January 6th. Well, I got the live events. Why don't I have... Did I put it in? Oh, there is no specific date yet for that. Okay, so I thought it was going to be February 7th. Because I usually do it like a month after, right after New Year's Eve, but a specific date and location for Vengeance Day 2026 has not been officially announced. However, looking at established schedules and 2026 calendar, the event is likely to take place in early to mid-February. So it could happen February 7th. It could happen on Valentine's Day weekend. And that's it. I think there's a Saturday Night's Main Event coming up in February, too. Let's see here. Yeah, January 24th at the Bell Center. And, nothing, and I guess nothing after that. Let's see if they have one for February. I think they're supposed to have one before Elimination Chamber. There are two WWE Saturday events scheduled for February 2026. Oh, it's going to be a house show. Okay. Because the Elimination Chamber is at the United Center in Chicago, Illinois, the 28th, with SmackDown the night before in Chicago as well, I believe. February 14th, they got a Road to WrestleMania Super Show in Lubbock, Texas. So if they do a Saturday Night's Main Event in February before Elimination Chamber, it'll probably be the 21st, I would think. Or it's going to be in March. But I don't have a list. I don't think I have a list of, let me see, maybe I can get a list. Maybe I could, now that my, my computer went by. But okay. Regardless, we got Saturday's Main Event coming up in, pretty much a week, a week from, no, 2 weeks from this coming Saturday, the 24th, and then the Royal Rumble the week after that. So, a big, huge January. So, gonna get through this week. And then next weekend, we got next week really, we got Raw from Germany. That's that's VPN, NXT, Dynamite, Maximum Carnage, TNA's debut on AMC, which is gonna get huge ratings. Then SmackDown from SmackDown's gonna be from London, so that's definitely a tape delay. And then we got Genesis the next day on the 17th. And then the week after that, on the 19th, like I said, the 19th, Raw is going to be, if I can go back to my notes. The 23rd, we all know, is in Montreal. The 19th for Raw is in Belfast, Northern Ireland. So that's going to be probably I think a 1 or, no, I think it's a 2 or 3 p.m. start, if you're watching on VPN for the Belfast Northern Ireland show. The Germany show, I think, is going to start at 12 or 1 o'clock here in the States. If you have a VPN, so fire that up around 12, maybe around 1 o'clock-ish. So I think it's 7 hours ahead, 6-7 hours ahead. So around 1, 2 o'clock next Monday night for Raw. For Germany, on Friday, like I said, I think it's around 2, 3 o'clock as well. So I might miss a little bit of SmackDown because I do have some appointments to go through. So I'll probably miss a little bit of SmackDown, but I'll just watch the replay. I know I'll miss Issa's chat and everything a couple days because I do got appointments. But I'll try to chime in every once I can. But they know that already. But yeah, so if you don't have a VPN for those shows, you're fucked. You're gonna have to watch the replay at 8 o'clock those nights. But if you want to watch live, live at 8 o'clock, you're gonna have to wait pretty much until January the 23rd. That's gonna be the next live shows. Without using a VPN to watch it early, get the spoilers and everything. So, because many people don't want to get spoiled when they watch it at 8 o'clock. So, I personally don't care. So, I'll watch the VPN. I'll watch the tape show. So, but lots of things happening. So that's that. All right, that's it for Wrestle Kingdom. My review. Once again, Wrestle Kingdom I thought was great, and I originally gave it 8, but I'm going to up it to 8.25 out of 10 stars. Let me know what you guys thought of Wrestle Kingdom down below in the comment section. Like Trick Willie would say, let's talk about it. And that's that. And we will talk about Collision tomorrow afternoon. Get you ready for Monday Night Raw, the final Raw, before we go to the VPN era for a couple weeks. We go overseas, and that's pretty much it. So it should be a great show tomorrow from the Barclays Center in my neck of the woods, Brooklyn, New York. I will not be there. It's a little bit pricey for my taste. And I want to save money for my concert this weekend, so I'm not going to do it. Even though Roman's going to be on the show, Beastie, Brock Lesnar's going to be on the show. We got CM Punk and Braun Breaker for the Raw World title. Becky Lynch and Maxine Dupree in match number 4 of their little rivalry for the Intercontinental title. There's a rumor that Jericho might appear, because Adam Pearce said on Twitter, hyping the show tomorrow, break down the walls, which is a Jericho term. So we'll see what happens with that if Jericho does appear. I mean, great. You know, not a big shock, but great. And we'll see. Maybe there'll be a last minute thing. Jericho's going to appear on Dynamite this week. We don't know. We'll see what happens tomorrow. But should be a great show tomorrow to usher in the 1-year anniversary on Netflix. And it's going to be a humongous show. It might go 2.5 hours. Maybe more than that. Who knows? But Brooklyn, New York is going to be rocking at the Barclays Center. And that's pretty much it. So we'll talk about Collision before we get to Raw, and then after Raw we'll talk about Monday Night Raw, and then kind of get back on a semi-normal basis again with NXT New Year's Eve on Tuesday night, Dynamite, Ring of Honor and TNA, and then on the weekend we'll talk about SmackDown. Maybe late. Actually, we'll talk about SmackDown after SmackDown goes off the air at the 8 o'clock show, because I already will have the results anyway. But I want to watch rewatch the show because I'll be out. Like I said, I do have some appointments that day, so I'll be out, and then I'll wait for the show to go on the air at 8 on USA Network. Watch it, and then after around like 10:30, maybe close to 11, I will do my official SmackDown review. And then, we got that. As far as Collision next weekend, I will do that really early next Sunday, because I am going out to watch the Niner game, which is at 4:30, and I won't be home till late, so that's that. So, Collision review will be coming, well, the next week's Collision will be coming late, early next Sunday, so. But hit that bell so when those reviews go up, you will not miss it. But tomorrow afternoon, probably around 5:30, 6 o'clock on the Kill Demons channel, we will talk about Collision from yesterday or Saturday. We'll talk about that, and then get you ready for Monday Night Raw, like I said, and then we'll talk about Raw later on that night. Well, after Raw goes off the air. So I have to formulate my notes and get everything ready. So probably about I would say about an hour, maybe an hour and a half after Raw, come back to the Kill Demons channel, and the review should be, I should be doing a review. That's pretty much it. Anyway, I gotta go, guys. Thanks for watching. I got lots of things to do tomorrow, and the whole week I'm very busy, so got doctor appointments up the wazoo. I gotta make some calls tomorrow. I got work tomorrow, so I got a lot of things to do. You know, that's pretty much it. I got other things in my glorious life to do, rather than worry about schmucks on YouTube that think they're great and they're not. So. Keep doing what you're doing to your boring as fuck AI videos and boring live streams that I don't give two fucks about. Keep thinking about me, because I'm not thinking about you. You know, I mentioned it, but I'm not caring. I'm pretty much not caring, so that's that. So, kiss my ass. Have a great have a horrible 2026 without me, because I'm just going to focus on my mental health and my well-being, and not give a fuck about YouTube so much. And that's pretty much it. So thanks for watching, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, 8.25 out of 10 stars for Wrestle Kingdom. And that's pretty much it. Leave your comments down below. Hit the like button. Hit the subscribe button. And all that good shit. That's it. Alright, I'm out of here, guys. Thanks for watching. Have a great first week of 2026. And until next time, if you're not down with that, me and the Prophecy, we got 3 words for you. Fuck you, man! Remember it. Because if you don't, I'm gonna bed into your thick skull. Actually, your thin skull, because you don't have a brain. So, remember it, ladies and gentlemen. If you're not down with that, fuck you. That's it. Until next time, motherfuckers. Peace.